Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and I've had a question from Mike, one of my BassLab Plus subscribers, asking me how do I go about playing the Bruno Mars Mark Ronson tune Uptown Funk. So what I thought I'd do is break it down into 5 simple sections that you can learn really quickly and really simply. But first of all, I'm going to go off and grab a coffee, and I will see you in the studio very shortly. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar.com, and as I said earlier, one of my BassLab Plus subscribers, Mike, asked me if I could teach the tune Uptown Funk because he'd love to know how to play it. He actually asked me this a little while back, and I've sort of been mulling it over for a while now, and I was on a gig last weekend and it suddenly came to me how to break this down and show you guys how to play this. First of all, I've set up a small little impromptu studio at home. I've got Beetle the dog over here. I've got one of these little Mark bass amps. If you haven't ever tried these out, these are amazing and you will be so surprised how much volume you can get over here. And of course, the ever faithful Sadowski here with a missing knob because it's got a grub screw missing, which the amazing Roger Sadowski is going to send me some over. So big kudos to those guys for some amazing customer service there. But anyway, back to Uptown Funk, and how this came about is I've played this tune now since it first came out, and I've always played it as a straight, I don't know, 3-minute, 40, 20, 33, however long it is track, and we've always played it identically to the original, so we try and get all the nuance in there, every bass fill, all the horn parts exactly bang on. And that's one way you can do it. You can do that with click tracks to fill out all the extra parts, and you can go for a really produced sound like Mark Ronson did on the original. Or you can do it in a much more organic way. How we played it, in fact, last Saturday night with this great band called Number 7 at a small festival in a little town just outside London. And it came to me when I started thinking about it, you can basically break this down into 5 kind of simple sections that you can learn to play the whole tune, and it makes it much easier to sort of compartmentalize. If you're zooming in to all the detail and all the nuance, that is great, but it can get a touch overwhelming if you're trying to remember every bass line, every slap fill, etc, and quite frankly, it isn't needed. So if you're doing it in a more organic situation where there might be some crowd participation going on, people going Uptown Funky Bar, say Uptown Funky Bar, whatever the lyrics are, something like that. Or they want to put some extended guitar solos in or something like that. It all works brilliantly. I think you've got to be careful not to let it turn into a crazy jam, because we're in a situation where we're still there entertaining the audience, but we were just free-forming some sections and vibing out, grooving out, having some fun, and this approach can really work well. So let's break it down into 5 sections. There's a PDF cheat sheet which I'm going to put together where I'm going to write these 5 out for you so you can see on paper how I sort of conceptualize it in my mind. You can download that from the links below. So let's start off. Part number 1 is literally 8 bars and is an 8-bar section, and we don't play for most of it. But right on the end of the 8th bar, we hit 2 16th notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, etc. Okay, bar 7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Like so. We're in the key of D major here, or D even, and so we're just hitting 2 Ds, 2 16th notes. There are some hits that the whole band get together, and I think it sounds really tight if we can get those in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm obviously going far too fast there, but 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, like so. So that is part number 1. We're going to look at part number 2. This is probably the most important thing in the whole of the tune. This is the iconic bass groove or bass riff. This is played on a bunch of different instruments on the original, I guess, some program stuff, some of the bass guitar, there's some octavidus type stuff in there. There's lots of crazy production in there, which sounds really great, but it works really nicely just on bass guitar. So I'm going to play that to you now, and then we'll take it apart in just a second. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is how it goes. So this is all based on the D minor pentatonic. So let me talk you through the notes. It is a D, and then onto your first finger, so that's a D at the 5th fret, and then up to an F at the 3rd fret on the D string, and then at the 5th fret on the D string we have a G, so D, F, G like that, and then our last note is the flattened 7th like this, which is a tone or whole step below the root. So you can see we have the classic box shape there going under our fingers like so. So I'm going to play it to you again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Like so. So how this riff works, it is literally first beat of the bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a whole bar's rest, and then we hit the root again. 2. So we are going from the D to the G. 2, 3, 4. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba, bum. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And so do check out the PDF which comes with it. What I'll do is I will take the timing exactly apart there, but it's probably easier just to clock it by ear and tap the pulse as we go along with it. So that is the first section, and that repeats 3 times. So 2 like that. But then on the last one, it has this boo be doo boo be doo boo. 1, 2, 3, 4 ba ba da ba 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 ba. And then on beat 3 we have a C, and we have beat 4 we have a C sharp, and then that takes us back to a stop on the first beat of the bar. And that is just on at the end of the 8-bar section, and that's what wraps it up really nicely. But you could break the groove down even further, just to 2, 3. If you miss those dom bom bum, in all honesty, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But it's a really nice little bit of detail to get in, because you have these syncopated bum ba da bum. So like so, which is G like there, and then at the end of the first beat on the fourth 16th note you hit the F, bum ba da bum, and then halfway through the second beat you hit the D, do be doo boo 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 bum. And that's really nice because you have that piece of syncopation with lots of offbeat notes, and then you have these bum 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 on the beat. So it's that push and pull, tension release, which makes that really nice. Why it's a nice thing to get on. Sometimes just playing big heavy notes on the beat as a bass player can be so satisfying. So that is the riff, and that's probably the most important thing that you need to know about how to play. Now number 3 in here is we have this ascending bit going into the chorus, this ascending figure, which is just a straight offbeat chromatic thing starting on a D. When it goes, so Uptown Funk don't give enough to bump, and then it goes, there's this big kind of lift. And this is so simple, it's offbeat notes, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, ba, 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 ba. And all we do is go chromatically, so that means half step by half step, up a D chromatic scale. So let me demonstrate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's kind of like a 3-bar lift, and it resolves onto the first beat of the next bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and like so. 1 and 2 and that note is on the beat. So again, it's that tension and release of notes being off the beat and then notes being on the beat, which sounds so cool. So that is section number 3, which is literally all off beats, and you can play that starting on an open string, and literally, I don't mind if you just play one finger going up. You could do it one finger per fret, there's no reason why not. You could do it all across the fingerboard. I, for some reason, tend to play it like this. I quite like just going up the string like that. There's something quite satisfying about doing that. So there are loads of different ways you can play that, but that is literally it. So there's a 3-bar offbeat pattern like that. So that is part number 3. And then part number 4 is when we hit the end of the chorus. You have this don't you know ba da ba 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 da ba da da, and there's some hits that the whole band play here. So the kind of band breaks down, but they just have these hits or these stabs where everybody plays a unison kind of rhythmic pattern together. And this is quite straightforward to hit. So let me show you. It goes 1, 2, 3, ba 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 da da, 2, 3, ba da 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 da, 2, 3. So halfway through the 3rd beat, so it's 1, 2, 3, ba da 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 da. It hits 6 semiquavers if we're in England, or 16th notes if you're in the rest of the world. We still have these differences in terminology going on, like so. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, ba da 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 da. Okay, it's just kind of like a machine gun. Da ga da ga da ga. 2, 3, da ga da ga da ga. 2, 3, like so. It's really cool. It works really nicely. On the original, the bass player is jumping octaves, so you could do that as well. So between the different phrases, so it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, jumping Ds. That is, so from a D on the 7th fret on the G string down to a D on the 5th fret of the A string. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, ba da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, ba da da. 1, 2, 3, ba da da. Like so. So that is that, and so that is the end of the chorus section. So we now have 4 very simple sections, and the rest of the song from this point forward is normally just a combination of these sections. So if you have a strong singer and you follow what he's doing, they logically just kind of normally slot together, and you can hear where they're placing all these different sections. So at this point forward, this is where I open up my ears. I now have the most important parts of the song in my head. Now all we need to do is finish this, and the best way to finish this is to use the original stabs or the original hits of the record, because I think that's so iconic. I think it's an iconic phrase that they put together there. So let's talk about this. So this is part number 5, and the phrase goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take that phrase. It's da 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 da. So it's 4 16th notes to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we have 2 offbeat 16th notes, the 2nd and the 4th of the 2nd beat. So, but I like to think of that last 16th note of the 2nd beat running into the next running into beat 3, because you have this da 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 2, 3, 4, ba da da 2, 3, 4. So if you put that all together, it's 2, 3, 4, da 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 ba ba da da 2, 3, 4. I often find these things, you might see that I'm not trying to take the rhythm kind of like too far apart. I think it's great to verbalize rhythm and really start to feel it, but if you want to mathematically take it apart, that's a great thing to do so. Again, download the PDF cheat sheet which comes with this, and you'll see exactly where it's all logically written on each of the 16th subdivisions. So again, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have that sort of syncopation at the beginning, and then we just end on a D down the octave on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on the 4th beat of the bar. It's really effective. I put a little slide on the end there, but if the band hits that all together, it will sound great, and it will really sound like the band knows what they're doing. It doesn't matter so much, in my opinion, whether all the intricacies of every single hit are in there. Like, there's some amazing lines which you can get down there. I love this particular one towards the end, which is kind of the whole band hit together, but it's not the end of the world if you want to get in there. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that you sort of just ignore this stuff. Please try and get it in if you want to get it in there, but if you want a quick way to learn this track, this is an amazing way to do it is just to break it down into these 5 sections. So just to recap again, so number 1, section 1 is the intro with the stabs on the 4th beat. Section 2 or part 2 is the original groove. Okay, that is that pattern. Okay, and now part number 3 is the 3-bar ascending kind of lift, I'm going to call it. 1, okay, etc. Part 4 is the stabs at the end of the verse. Oh, sorry, I mean chorus. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And part 4 is the final phrase, which I think is so awesome to get together. So guys, that was taking apart how to play Uptown Funk in 5 simple sections that we broke down there. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please do give it a like or share. I also invite you to check out my Bass Lab Plus program, my membership program, where I take apart all these sort of ideas and teach you how to implement them in step-by-step courses in sort of real world practical bass playing. So please do check that out. At the time of filming this, there's a 14-day free trial, so you can get in there completely risk-free, try this stuff out and see how it feels for you. Anyway, if you've enjoyed it, please do give us a like or share. I'd love to know what you feel about these more informal films here with Beetle the dog down there and the smaller Mark bass amp. I'd love to know what you think, so please do comment below. Again, give us a like and share on social, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. I've been James from eBassGuitar.com.
Thank you very much. Okay, we've got time for a couple more songs.